Hi, my name is Captain Jeff. I teach sailing at the Sailing Academy. Today I'd like to help you with your pronunciation of nautical terms. Not every word is pronounced the way it's spelled. We have this problem at home. You don't take a cup and put it in the cupboard, you put it in the cupboard. If you walk into a bank and you say, hey, I'd like one of those mortgages, they might figure out that you're new at this. So I want to help you out by giving you the correct pronunciation to a lot of nautical terms that kind of give away new sailors. First thing we're going to talk about is not the pronunciation of a word, but actually using the wrong term. If you look at this, you probably would call it a rope. It is not a rope. And the reason this is not a rope, even though it looks like a rope, is because I'm on a sailboat right now. As soon as you take a rope and you bring it onto a sailboat, it's called a line. So make sure when you're out sailing with some friends, every rope you see, call it a line. Now, the next thing about this is once you give a line something to do, now it's called by the term or the job that it's doing and not just called an average line. If I'm using it to tie my boat up to the dock, it's a dock line, not just a line. If I'm using it to hoist the mainsail, now it's a halyard, not a line. So remember the progression. Rope off the boat, bring it on a boat, now it's a line, give it a job, call it by the name of the job that it's doing. Now we get into the pronunciation. First pronunciation I'm going to give you is a knot that we commonly use on a sailboat for all kinds of purposes. If you look at this knot, this is called, on paper, it's spelled B-O-W-L-I-N-E. It's not pronounced bowline, it's pronounced bowline. Everybody practice bowline. Don't go up to somebody on the dock and say, hey, look at this cool bowline I just tied. They'll know you're kind of new. Next, let's talk about your sails. You have two sails on a sloop rig sailboat. You're going to have the mainsail, but I want you to call it a mainsail. The same as the head sail, the sail up front, could be a variety of different things. It could be a jib, can be a genoa. That's going to be called a headsail. Now, if you're referring to just a sail, don't call it a sail. It's still a sail. It's only a sail if it's a mainsail or a headsail. Third term, leeward. Leeward is how it's going to be spelled in the book. What it means is the side of the boat that's furthest from the wind. Now, in a crossing situation between two sailboats, the sailboat, if they're on the same tack, the sailboat to the leeward side has right of way. But the pronunciation is lured, not leeward, it's lured. So be sure to yell lured at somebody and don't yell leeward. They might know that you're new. The very side edge of any boat is called a G-U-N-W-A-L-E. Now, I've pronounced that gunwale, seeing it for the first time, but we pronounce it gunnel. So don't say, hey, sit on the gunwale of my boat. Say, sit on the gunnel. There's a job on a boat that is spelled boatswain, but you want to call him the bosun. You might see that for a bosun's chair that we use for hoisting somebody up the mast. It's not boatswain, it's bosun. If you're going over the terminology for ASA 101, one of the parts of boats that you need to know is a F-A-I-R-L-E-A-D, and that's spelled fair lead, but you want to pronounce that far lead, not fair lead, but far lead. So if you try that on your buddies and go, hey, that's the jib far lead, they go, hey, this guy knows what he's doing. I'm going to leave you with one last tip now that you've got your pronunciations down. If you go out to the yacht club or the marina or you get invited out sailing, unless it's a costume party, you probably want to leave a hat like this at home. You might need to watch this video a couple times. Practice the terminology and the pronunciations that I give you. Once you've got it, then you can walk up to the yacht club with pride and not embarrass yourself. We're here to help. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. We do a lot of sailing education, informational videos to help you kind of progress in your sailing knowledge.